Hello, this is Mark Castro, and before I go over the demo of the program, I created this Git repository and explains to you what STIG is and what it does and what are the advantages and what are the features, installation, and how to run it. I'm not going to read this word for word, but I'll explain to you in summary of what it does. What does STIGS stand for? What does it stand for? STIGS is the acronym for Security Technical Implementation Guidelines. It's supposed to be guidelines. It's the best practices that this has set up for installation and supporting any IT systems to make sure all the systems are secure. Now, why do STIG exist? The government, because of government vulnerabilities are present, and stakes are here to maintain a secure baseline and protect all cyber and asset security. And the real work here is done in an application environment. When I said application environment, because the CUTS products, CUTS products are heavily used by the Department of Defense. So they created a STIG as a framework to secure the baselines of configurations. But for this demo, I created a baseline security configurations for Mac level 3. Um, Mac level 3 means mission assurance category level 3. That we're targeting that specific level for this program. And what is Mac level 3? It gives you the guidelines here of what it does. That if you do this manually, it probably will take you to check one system, so Mac level 3 probably take you about 2 to 3 hours just to check every single systems. Now on a data center, they have over about 100 or 200 Linux Oracle Linux operating systems running at the same time. You don't want to do that manually. You could buy the licensing from other vendor, which will cost about $10,000 per license. It's going to be very expensive. But I create a simple program for to check Mac 3. It could be expanded. It's currently on it's right here. The program is uploaded. It's a very simple process. So in here, this is my Linux environment that I install. For example, if you have that Linux environment, I SSH to the program. So this is the program pretty much. What it does is it goes through these programs and scripts. It will dissect and check all the configurations of Oracle Linux environment. All these checks it pretty much map to all these STIG requirements that is required by DESA. Running the program is it's a simple process. So these are all configuration settings. I can run the program by simply going here. You can run to that. This is basically a Mac 3, but if you add Mac 3, Mac level 2, 1, 2, and 3, it's going to be a huge program. So it is wise to be able to output it into a file and check the configuration settings. It will take about a couple of minutes here because it's parsing through all the systems in all the directories. It's really good program. So you can check all the systems of what it does. And so for example in here, the one of the STIG requirements is you shouldn't have these files in your systems because one of the vulnerabilities that will the nature of the systems of Oracle. So it's searching for it. It didn't search it. It's a success. It didn't find it. So that's good to go. So it will map pretty much to 21871. And one of the program is it will try to find all the files starting from the root of the directory. It will try to search it, which is the one of the requirements of this STIG requirements. That's what it does. It's a simple process. Um, Sometimes if it gets so big, you can just type. channel it to another file. For example, output. Go like that. Then it goes through the output, and you can just look through it through the program. Will take about a couple of minutes here. It's a very simple program. While we're doing that, um, I will. This is the code is pretty much located on a GitHub, and it's a simple process. So is it done? Yeah. So go. The program is done running, and you can just open it up, uh, and it tells you whether the check is a finding. A finding means it did not meet the stick requirements and needs to be fixed. For example, in this one right here, checking for package, not a finding, but it's okay. Didn't find for a package. For GNOME, it does a lot of checking in here for configuration settings. So you can go 2216, and it gives you the logic of how to check the programs and settings. Uh, it's better to have this specific scripts instead of going over, because if you have like 50 or 100 Linux environment running in your systems, you can have this program to be able to run it on each systems. You can automate the whole thing. What I did is what you could do is to have to SSH to all the systems and run it through all 50 or 100 Linux environment. It's a simple process. Um, so you can go through every single one of them, every single one, or check in here and check it against the Linux environment that is required. Here, that's pretty much an automation. Um, so once you get to the program and you make corrections, after you make corrections and then run it again, eh, before you have to understand that the operating systems, it has to be baseline to have a security baseline configuration settings before they get deployed to the environment, like production sandbox to the systems. You don't want the the government doesn't like deploying their systems unless it's properly staged. Um, all right, that's all I have. If you have any questions, let me know.